Hi there, and welcome to this bonus episode of the Gazette's Hockey Inside Out Show. I'm Stu Can of the Gazette, and I'm joined by my regular partners here, former Canadiens teammates and 1986 Stanley Cup champions, Chris Nyland and Rick Green. Knuckles, Brendan Gallagher, only 2 goals in his first 33 games this season, despite being a regular on the second power play unit. 33 years old, he has 1 more year left on his contract with a $6.5 million salary cap hit. Is there any chance the Canadiens end up buying out the final year of that contract, or maybe even send him down to Laval? Is there a spot for him moving forward after this season?
Geez, I don't know. What's he got? He got 11 points, 2 goals, 9 assists. Josh Anderson, 6 goals, 4 assists, 10 points.
He's become a very highly paid fourth liner right now.
Yeah, but that's not his fault.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's not his fault. And here's the deal. Regardless of his numbers, the guy shows up every night, gives everything he has, always will. I truly believe at the age of 34, as a forward, when you play that style of game, you're right there. You're at the end. And you're lucky if you can play another year or 2 as a forward, especially playing that physical, beat up your body type hockey. Now, that being said, it'd be a shame to see him pushed out of here in some way. I don't care. Here's a guy who belongs here. He should retire here. He should, at some point, be someone who works for this organization moving forward. He has done everything. He's handled himself well, never been in trouble. There's value in that. And there's value in him as a person. The kid's a stand-up guy. He has a freaking backbone. He's not a jellyfish. And I would hate for them to do that to him. And I don't think they will, but you never know. This is a business.
Yeah, as I've said, Brendan Gallagher has earned every single penny the Canadiens have ever paid him, right? He was underpaid when he was a 30-goal scorer. He's overpaid now. As you said, Chris, that's not his fault. You're not going to turn down that contract. But, Rick, what do you think the future holds for him moving forward?
Well, I think with the management group that they have in place, which is a class group of guys, they're going to give Brendan the opportunity to maybe decide what his future would be. There's no way in the world that he's going to go to the minors. Mm-hmm. My feeling.
Yeah.
If anything, maybe they'll talk to him about, would you be interested in being moved? And if, Brendan says no, he's been a big part of this organization since he started. And you know what you get from him. He's a quality person. And maybe they'll just, keep him around in the organization. But I think the fact that they will have a conversation with him and handle him in a first-class way to allow them to do what they think is right for Brendan and for the organization.
Yeah, that contract would be hard to move, I think. As a fourth liner, I don't think he's hurting you, Knuckles, as a fourth liner. The effort's there all the time. I wonder about him being on the second power play. I think that's maybe Marty trying to give him a chance to create more offense. You think that might be why he's leaving him there?
Yeah, good possibility. And, he got a good shot. He gets to the front of the net. You need someone in front of the net.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't have a problem with that. And he's a guy who has experience. And, okay, he's a little older now. And, I like what Marty does with him that way. That's a good thing, And,
yeah. I mean, a lot of miles in that body, too. And one of the reasons he's so beaten up is because of the way he's played, right? As I mentioned earlier, he's earned every single dollar he's had. I mean, you mentioned about working with the team afterwards, maybe. I mean, his wife is from St. Julien on the South Shore. They have a baby. He's from Vancouver. You wonder if you might want to go back there. But that feeling, Knuckles, it's such a fast game now, right? And when you lose, you were a forward. When you lose that little step, it's got to be really hard.
Yeah, it is. I did. I struggled with it. I knew it was happening. It's hard for me to want to admit it. But like I always said, you got to be honest with yourself. And it's real hard to be because you're dealing with, I'm older. I'm going to retire. I'm going to lose the game that I love. I'm not going to be able to play anymore. I got to keep pushing through this. And you do. But it's happening. And if you don't know, you're a dummy.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be in the back of his mind, Rick, that, this is probably it coming to the end. But I mean, apart from what does he mean to this team apart from what he does on the ice? I mean, he's a huge presence, I think, in the locker room and so respected by his teammates.
He is that type of personality that every team would like to have. He's always there for the press. He's always there to answer the bell. He sticks up for his teammates. He's got all the ingredients that are a big part of the Canadiens, and it's just going to be interesting to see moving forward what they're going to do with this situation. But one thing remains the same: quality person that you never have a problem having him around in any area of the organization, no matter what he does. He's first class, and he's deserving of being handled in a right way.
Well, I was mentioning earlier, Vancouver area is his off-season home. Knuckles, you look at the mess the Canucks are in now. I mean, there seems to be a real problem in that locker room. You wonder if there was maybe a trade, maybe the Canucks would take a guy like Gallagher in to maybe try and just be that veteran guy in the room to get them back on track.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even want to think of that.
Yeah.
I just don't. Listen, we just saw Andrei Markov here, right? The guy was here his whole career, 10 games shy of 1,000. And part of that's on him. Part of it's on management. They should have found a way to accommodate him for those 10 games. Yeah. And it's a shame. But, again, Greeny alluded to it. These guys are classy, Jeff Gorton and Ken Hughes, and certainly I just hope he doesn't go anywhere. And again, some of that's going to be up to him. Is he going to be able to reconcile with what they have in store for him or plans for him? Listen, if it's, we don't think he can play at this level anymore, and, we're going to put somebody else in here, is he going to accept that? And that's the thing. So maybe he forces their hand that way and tries to make a move. But, I'll just say it again. I don't think he should be going anywhere. He should stay right here. He belongs here.
Yeah, I mean, he did score 21 goals last season. You wonder if maybe he can get a couple of goals in a row and feed off of that. But I agree with you, Knuckles. I think, Brendan Gallagher nobody's bled Bleu Blanc Rouge more than him during his career, and it would be nice to see him end his career with the Canadiens. Anyway, that's it for this bonus episode. We'll have another bonus episode coming up over the next few days, so you can look for that. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out YouTube channel. And in case you didn't already know, Hockey Inside Out is now available also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.